this will help.
Yeah.
Will help some, ladies.
Yeah. No,
there is nothing wrong.
Yeah.
If you, I don't know the word fancy is appropriate, or if you like somebody.
She was crushing on me like no one's business.
Literally.
She has so much crush on me. It wasn't believable.
But what's the point of lusting after somebody?
Yeah.
When you know one, they are capable, they are spiritually, you check them out.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem. If you, I like you.
My wife, she couldn't pronounce psychology.
Oh my goodness!
I will never forget that day. It was after Sunday school. You come and talk about your Sunday school, and she was saying physiology, and then we say psychology.
But then I started researching, and I was asked, what's the difference between crush and love? And I would be asking my sisters, and I was asking everyone, and I was like, what's the difference between crush and love? Because this is not healthy. It wasn't healthy. When you were distracted, it wasn't healthy. I was like, is this love? Is this crush? And I think you're probably like my first
crush
ever serious. It wasn't my first crush.
I work on my college then as well. I was like in class 25. When I asked her, and she said yes, and wow. She's like, we are boyfriend and girl, whatever we were going. And I've been walking, I'm just like doing this. Because I was on a different level, like.
It was so deep.
Pastor Kenneth, obviously, you can't breathe with that. Yeah. Can you? In the real sense.
In the real sense.
Okay. All right. That leads to the next question. Do you, since now, you managed to come together, you build life together, should joint accounts be promoted for intending couples? I don't know how you started. I don't know how but I know the foundation, the coming together was so real, was so intentional. You went all in.
Yeah.
How? Because I know money is always a problem for love.
Yes.
Welcome to Flourishing Minds and Families, popularly known as Flourishing M&F shows. Welcome to this week's podcast. My name is Olabisi Yemi-Ayetigbo, and today we have amazing guests with S, because it's going to be double the fun, isn't it? The amazing couple in United Kingdom. They're going to introduce themselves, but they are going to be blessing us. Amazing couple. We've known them for a couple of years now, and they are doing phenomenal work, not just in marriage, but also in the secular world and also in church as they are co-pastors. Please welcome with me as they introduce themselves, Pastor Kenneth and Pastor Grace. You see? That's why I said double the fun. So please, Pastor Kenneth, or do you want ladies first?
Ladies first.
Right.
Oh gosh.
Mrs. Grace, please introduce yourself.
I am Mrs. Grace Kenneth Jimahs.
Oh.
Yes, took his name.
No choice.
Oh please, I chose to. I chose to. Married to this amazing man, mother of 3 incredible, energetic children. What else? Over to you.
Yeah, my name is Kenneth Jimahs.
Yes.
Kenneth Jimahs just sounds so great. She decided to have it as a surname. That's fantastic as well.
That was not white, but we should do that.
Yeah, maybe. Now you take my word out of my head. Yes, so I'm married to this amazing woman who could not stop chasing me, obviously.
Okay. Okay.
We were married together for 14 years. 14 years this year, and been together a lot longer.
Longer.
Yeah.
Okay. Longer than I've been alive. I've been with you longer than I've been by myself.
All right.
Yeah, so
You see?
this year it's 22 years together.
Wow.
Long time.
Okay. So you said something when you were introducing yourself. But who chased you?
He chased me.
Just to be clear to
You
the audience.
chased me.
Who chased who?
Oh, I need to stand up for that.
Who chased who?
You chased me.
Okay.
Sit down, man.
Tell the story. Who chased who?
You chased me.
To the audience.
Okay.
I was not there. So
Okay, we chased each other.
Oh.
You chased me.
You know, because apparently, this amazing lady was so infatuated with me. Although I had so many spots on my face, you could do knots and crosses back then, and it was okay. When she had interest in me, this is true. I had no interest in myself.
Oh.
Yeah, like my confidence was through the roof. Not through the roof. Sorry, down the foundation.
Down the foundation.
Oh, that season what I would say. No confidence. I'd been like a year or two in the country. I wasn't adjusting properly. College was from being high in college in first year to second year, just going nose down. Yeah, and then obviously the puberty hit me on a different level. My goodness, I had like stones on my face. That's what my brother used to say to me. And then somehow she liked me, and I'm like, you blind or something. But anyway, she liked me, and I found out that she did because my sister and I used to talk about me in code. And so,
Joseph and Mary.
Yeah, and so they'll be talking in code whenever I'm in the vicinity over the phone. But then when the first time I saw it was at church. And my wife, she couldn't pronounce psychology.
Oh my goodness!
I will never forget that day. It was after Sunday school. You come and talk about your Sunday school, and she was saying physiology, physiology. Who is this person that can say psychology? But anyway, that's
exactly.
But we were friends for a year.
Yeah.
And the first time that she caught my eye, was at her sister's wedding.
Oh.
Yeah, my sister's wedding, and she was there. Like, whoa, okay, she looks. Something is going on here. And
eventually.
And this was like probably a year since we've known each other. And then I was going to stand next to her and just like, you look very nice. I actually said it. I don't think she heard me.
I'm sure I did. And I said, thank you, no?
No. From my memory, I don't think you remembered. I don't think you heard me. Or if you did like you did not hear me. And then, no, not then. So yeah. Wow. You know, that one where you're looking like nobody better come to you. That one. Nobody better come near you.
Okay, let me confess. Maybe I did like him a little bit.
A little bit. This will help.
Yeah.
Will help some, ladies.
Yeah. No,
there is nothing wrong.
Yeah.
If you, I don't know the word fancy is appropriate. Or if you like
she was crushing on me like no one's business.
Literally.
She had so much crush on me, it wasn't believable.
But what's the point of lusting after somebody?
Yeah.
When you know one, they are capable, they are spiritually, you check them out.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem. If you, I like you.
Maybe not lusting though.
No, instead of lusting after somebody.
Instead of lusting.
Yeah, instead of I can just acknowledge your emotions.
Yeah.
I like you. You are a cool guy. I like what you do, and I like what you do for God.
Yeah, you did.
Did I like you?
Tell your story.
So when they came to church, when the whole family, there weren't that many guys in church.
Yeah. So he stood out.
I guess you've grown up with them, so they were more like.
Yeah, but I didn't even know. They weren't interested. When he came, because you had a brother, it could have been you and you were fine. So, when he came, I was like, ooh, boys in church. And then it was kind of like, ooh, and then they started coming back and they were coming back. I was like, ooh, boys in church. Yeah, I did have a crush. And it was so bad because I was in the choir.
Oh, these choir people, they always
They always scared me.
We need to review that department and put their seats at the back.
Yeah, honestly, they didn't need to lead from front.
No, so I was in the choir and then I'll be standing in the front, I'll be watching the door until they came in. So when I was in the choir, instead of focusing, I was watching door and waiting for something.
I did notice as well though. Like
you did?
I did notice. No one had noticing me, just me noticing her.
Yeah.
Right.
Obviously, I was 17.
17?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was all crush. That was a crush. And I was getting all these like butterflies. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to see this guy.
He's real.
He was like, oh my goodness. But then I started researching, and I was asked, like, what's the difference between crush and love? And I would be like, asking my sisters, and I was asking everyone, and I would ask them, like, what's the difference between crush and love? Because this is not healthy. It wasn't healthy. When you were distracted, it wasn't healthy. I was like, is this love? Is this crush? And I think you're probably like my first
crush
ever serious. It wasn't my first crush. I was in secondary school. There was lots of crushing, but
but in terms of knowing yourself,
this one was like, do you know what? This was like, I've had crushes in secondary school, but the fact that this crush was with a Christian guy, someone that was a friend, that I know your family, I know your background, like
it could be him.
It could, it could be. It could be. But then it was a crush. I was like, is this good? Should I be feeling this way? So it was working that through, like a whole year of working the emotions, like what exactly is
So
this?
how did you then bring it up to the level of moving away from crush on each other, or obviously knowing each other in church, bringing up to the level of maturity,
right,
and honing it, and being saying, you know what, we're going to be responsible.
Right.
That's a very good question. So this was 17. So just put my cousin on the table. Obviously, she's the only one I've ever been out with. I never dated anyone else. I just had. Obviously, in secondary school we had crushes as well, but I never asked anyone out. Never. Okay. And there were opportunities to, but I never did. And my mindset was always, and this is me, whoever I ask, I want to marry. That was always my mindset.
Yes.
And so one of the main reasons why I didn't ask anyone out, when I came to this country, is a girl at the church I was going to first asked me out, and it was, for me, it was like, huh? It was waiting because I was young then, 16, like it doesn't make sense to me, but obviously I was coming from a different culture. And so when all the whole crushing thing was happening, I remember the first time when I did eventually ask her out. Obviously I spoke to my sister about it because they were very close. Spoke to her about it, and I was even trying to disqualify myself, saying like, oh, I didn't even look that good, and she wanted to slap me in the face, like, what are you talking about? That kind of thing. But I did ask, and when I asked, she said yes. Okay. But that was the ask before the real ask, and we'll explain why. Because when we did, I remember that day I was doing a part-time work at my college then as well. I was like in class 25. When I asked, and she said yes, and wow, she's like, we are boyfriend and girl, whatever you want to call it. And I'll be walking, I'll be just like doing this, because I was on a different level, like. I know, I was like, I was gone. Because obviously I was so joyful, so the first time ever as well, the first person ever asked, and it was I was just in a different level. And then she went off to uni. So she went off to uni before me. But before she did though, I think I'll tell you this, I think she waited so long for me to ask, that kind of thing, that by the time I asked, I was like, yeah, the crush is gone. But she did say yes. Yeah, I don't know, but anyway. But she said yes. But that first, when we met, we went to the park, we sat down, talked, whatever. It was there, but you can just sense that maybe there's no gelling. Yeah,
the butterfly is gone.
It was gone.
The real work is there now. What are we doing now?
But
we're not babies anymore.
Yeah, but even that, I think the excitement was just not there anymore. And it was a 2-month period whereby we just said, okay, we started I think probably around June, July time, and then we just broke it off. And then it was nothing. But this was when the real work then started.
I think because that happened, because that would have led on a crush. Okay. That yes was based on, oh my gosh, the not the genuine emotions, but just the feelings of, Okay. So when he asked me, because I actually, when it got to a point where I was like, God, I'm too distracted. Like I can't be going to church and be like this. So I prayed, I said, Lord God, if it's a crush, take it away. And he did. So I was like, now, okay, we're now friends.
Yeah.
You know, I went that next Sunday, I was like, yeah, we're all friends. So when he did ask me, I was like, yeah, there's nothing there.
So then how do you get to know that? How do you get to know the mind of God?
Yeah.
When choosing life, how did you get to know it?
This is interesting because obviously around that 2 month period, and I know we are not necessarily the template here, because we'll talk about this later. In our generation, people do sex first before they talk about relationships, get to know each other. And we come from a different background, we come from a different intentionality. And so for me, like I said, whoever I went to, I was going to get married to. We'll get that later, but we got married as virgins. And so there was a different mindset. And I just want to say this before I continue, that anyone that thinks that it's not possible, we're examples. It is possible. I'm not saying this to make you feel less of yourself, but I want to say this to empower you. Even if you've done it before and you want to put a stop to it, it's possible to build a relationship without thinking it's all about sex to start. But we'll get that later on. So during that 2 month period, it was the same. So I just felt like I felt a bit broken. It's like, okay, we said yes, started going on, and then there's nothing. I'm calling you. It feels like I'm disturbing you.
So I went off to uni.
Yeah.
So we got together, and then he asked me. I said yes, but then I think a week
You went off to uni
before I went off to uni, I was like, actually, maybe no. So and then I went off to uni, living uni life, big girl now.
I know.
Big girl. And then it was, I think that distance, then...
Didn't help the beginning to...
So that distance kind of like, okay, maybe I was too age, maybe it's time now to just give this guy a chance and grow.
Yeah, before that though, I felt like I was bugging her. And this is where I guess everyone, you need to know yourself.
Yes.
And there's always that sense of self-respect as well.
That's right.
So I felt like I was bugging her, and I just like, no, forget it. I'm not doing this. I'm not gonna feel like I'm pressuring anymore. But I prayed.
Okay.
And I can't remember the exact word I prayed, but because again, just like how she was feeling distracted before, it was consuming me. The whole thought of, okay, I think about it about being 18, you know, like it was consuming my thoughts, like this person. And the healthy thing about this is, for us then, sex was not even in the conversation. Yeah. And so it was more this relationship that I wanted with her. So it wasn't like, oh, I want to have sex. No, it was like, I wanted this relationship with this person. And so it was consuming me. I wasn't focused. And then I just prayed, like, God, just do something about this. And that was it. And then
Probably the day that he prayed or the day after, I was talking to my best friend because we went to uni together and we were in our room, and then we were talking about our future, like, God, we want to marry this kind of person and we want this amount of children, and if you come, Lord, please let us be married before you come. And then it was like, we were talking about how many children we wanted, and I just got this sense, like when she left my room, I just got my phone and texted her, like, I was talking to Laurie today about our future and how many kids I wanted, and I think you might be that person.
Oh, really?
Literally, from like he's bugging me to.
So he spoke.
so
You went away. Like, you know what? I want to do my thing.
Yeah.
He went back to God. He prayed. Let your will be done. You answered from the back door. I think I know how many children I want. Come on. Why do you have to support me?
And then she came from uni. We met on the 17th of November 2002.
Wow.
Went for a walk by the church.
Yeah.
Just talked about everything, and that's when we started dating.
Oh.
Yeah. And yeah.
You can literally say that maybe like you proposed on that.
I did.
It felt like you did.
To you, it
was
felt
so
like,
serious.
oh,
like, I want to spend the rest of
No,
my
no,
life with
no.
you. Like, I love you.
Oh.
I can't be without you.
That's exaggeration. That's exaggeration.
You were so deep.
Pastor Kenneth, obviously, you can't breathe without her.
Yeah.
Can you? In the real sense.
In the real sense.
Okay. All right. That leads to the next question. Do you, since now, okay, you managed to come together, you build life together, should joint accounts be promoted for intending couples? I don't know how you started. I don't know how you know, but I know the foundation, the coming together was so real, was so intentional. You went all in.
Yeah.
How? Because I know money is always a problem for love.
Yes.
can you say, joint account for intending couples?
It's a very good question. And so we just want to go back on what you said about the intentionality. I think relationships today, maybe not just today, but generally speaking, are not really intentional. It's like, let's do and see where it goes to. And if you have a relationship to see where it goes to, it affects your planning as well. Because if you're just on the, if it's, okay, let's see where it goes, then how would you plan? That kind of thing. There's no solid foundation. And that's why when we started, okay, this is our intention. Yeah. If it didn't work, at least we had a plan. I had a good intention about it, and that's fine. And again, our solid foundation was on God. We'll probably talk more about this, about how we dealt with obviously the desires of the body and that kind of thing. We'll talk about that hopefully later on. But for the joint account one, it's gonna sound strange to people. We had a joint account before we got married.
Before?
Yeah. It's not a prescription.
No.
It really isn't.
And I think it was more circumstantial.
Yeah.
Whether circumstantial or intentional or accidental, but then you managed it.
Yes.
The question is, because people even start together, intentional, we're going to build it together, and then you just fly out, it didn't work. So how did you manage to build that joint financial foundation together?
We probably talk more on this because for me, fast forward to when I started to get married, I just finished my master's then. I already going to 8 years together, and I wasn't working. So she was the one that was working. Obviously, she was still living with her parents. I lived with my parents. She was working. So any money that went to joint account, any money at that point in time was mostly from her. Then, because I got a miracle. I started actually my full-time job the month of our marriage, of our wedding. So it was like, God, this is date set, fix me up, that kind of thing. There's more to that anyway. But we set it up because we always had the intention to be open with ourselves, with everything. And that was how I kept going. And if there's only one downside to an account, is that you can't really say, I want to surprise them, then you just because everything.
You see, why you spend your money in there?
Yeah, but we've always had it. Because for us, and this is true for me, money is not the most important thing. I by default, she's changed me this way. I'm a worrier anyway. I tend to worry more, but it's not necessarily about how much money do you have. It's about the holistic picture.
Yes, we have enough.
She's giving me more peace of mind to be more trusting God in that kind of aspect of our life, which is absolutely fun. I have more peace. So. The joint account for us, it was just common sense for us because we were open. What do you want to say on that?
I think for the joint account was actually open because I needed an account, a healthy account. So we opened it for them, but it's been my main account. And then, but obviously, joint account shouldn't be the only account.
Yes, of course.
You can have your other. So the joint account, okay, this is where our central bill. I know for some couples, the husband deals with this bills and then the wife deals with this. But for us, it's been, even before we got married, it helped us for the wedding.
Of course.
So when he wasn't working, I was working, so I would be saving into that, and that helped us a lot during the work. That covered us as a couple.
And parents as well.
Yeah, it covered us as a couple. So this is what we're using for the wedding. So, and then when he started working, he was putting it. So I think it depends on the couples, and it shows a level of trust.
Yes,
for each other.
Absolutely.
Like we're working. That is a job. We're coming together to work together.
You were intending from the onset.
Yes.
The vision was clear. The goal was clear.
Yeah.
Whether it was accidental, whether it was working, but then the purpose for it was that, you know what, guys, we're going to be committed to this. This is what we're going to use it for. It's for our future. We waste it, we waste our lives. So I think what you're saying, and I think what you're encouraging young people is that be purposeful in what you are doing.
Yes.
Don't do like you said. Don't say, let's just be dating. We don't know where we are going. Let's just keep going. There is no purpose.
No.
We don't know where we are going. And a vehicle that doesn't know where we are going, it's like you get stranded or you crash somewhere. It's either one or, because you're gonna, by the time you drive and tired, you crash or you get stranded. So if you don't want to get stranded, from this couple they say let the guy know, let the lady know where you are going. So we both know that we're not going to end in the ditch. So we know where we're going.
And even now, we have access to our accounts anyways online. It's there. And I think that this is for us. It's important. That accountability, that fact that everything's on the table. It's not the fact that I thought you said there's no money. Where's this coming from? That kind of thing. So whatever we're doing together, we say it. And that's why at times I always say that she gets on my nerves. It's like, oh, I want to do this and this. Sorry, but you see what you have. Like, where's it gonna come from? And I think
everything is open.
I think that kind of simplicity, it makes life easier for us. But I guess the balance as well is she's a dreamer, I'm a realist. I just understand in the sense that 2 years ago,
dream a little.
3 years ago, before I went to America, 2022, it was the first time I went to America as a family. Now, Eddie that just said, you know what, I want us to go to America as a family for the national convention. And I'm looking at her kind of say like, what? Everything's there. That's not. How are we gonna do that? But and that's the thing. Just knowing each other, it can still like you're talking nonsense. There's nothing here. I can do that. But she had a dream. Somehow, God did it. We've been to America 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So, there you go. But it stands from that openness, that accountability. This is what we have, and then we'll go from there. Just being useful to us.
So does that mean? I mean, that brings up the next question. Does love have something to do with money in a relationship?
I love it in it.
Or it doesn't. You can love, and if there's no money, because people say money is romance.
You can love and be senseless.
So we can love and still crash our finances.
So what was it that you said before? Love.
No. I said what I would say is that love is not a standalone concept or complex by itself. Love is important, but it's not all that is important. So I'll give an example. If you have, people think that love is this everlasting flame that just burns. No. But if you have a campfire and you don't keep nurturing the fire, it will die. That's the same with love. Love is intentional. You know when you say I love, it's not something that just happens. You choose to love.
Doesn't now.
And it's the same. It's something that you choose to do every day. Like I choose to love my wife every day. It's not something that you leave to just be there. Like if you leave it there, it will die.
Yes.
And so the same with when it comes to a lot of finances, the reason why we don't bash each other on the head over finances is because of love. But love is not enough to finance the home. So it's that balance that we need. Okay.
Say that again, Pastor. Say that again. So becomes a quote today now. Written and spoken by. Love is not what?
But love is the reason why we don't bash ourselves on the head over finances.
Yes.
But love alone cannot finance the home. And so when we see we've gone through period. So when we started, I'll say that when we started sharing more than me, it's love that made that fine for us. Whereby any more than me did not make me feel less than a man. And any more than me did not mean that I have to be scrapping around the side of the table trying to feel worthy. She loved me though, but our money was together, we spent together. At times we'll go to a restaurant, and it's happened before we got married actually, where we go to a restaurant and she was going to pay for it and she may give me the card to pay for it at times. None of that was necessary. But at times, obviously, men have this ego at times that at times it's just what we are at times. But obviously, since we got married, I don't really care. You can pay. You pay from the joint account. Who cares? Who cares holding the card?
It comes from the same money.
Exactly. So and then come from that place whereby she was earning more than me. Love helped us through that. Now I'm earning more than her. Because she used to be a teacher, you left teaching job because of our kids, left teaching job, started our own business. We're at that phase whereby I'm earning more. It's love that makes it that I will never look down on my wife. But love is important for those kind of things. However, though, we still need food on the table. So you cannot say, "Oh, I want to get married," for example. And I say this, I probably slap myself in the face. You cannot say you want to get married as a man or woman, and neither of you have any job.
Love does not finance it, like you
love
said.
Cannot finance. Well, so this is the practicality of things. So we love each other. Love is the foundation. It's like the root, the soil and everything. But it needs to grow, and you need to feed it to grow. Finances, ambition, purpose, those kind of things. So that's not.
So you were saying finance, money, funds, other things, commitment, vision, purpose,
intentionality.
are what funds the love.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So love does not stand alone. You know, because young people comes together. We're so in love. We're getting married, and all the Ashwebi people from
Oh
US.
my gosh.
It's all in the face.
Yeah.
And you are asking, what is the purpose? What is the vision of these individuals coming together? What is going to keep on finding this home?
Yeah.
And I think these are the things I had to myself as a professional, you know, working with people. But then it's really good that the way you kind of analyzed it.
Yeah.
Because love doesn't stand alone.
No.
The vision, the purpose, the money, the sharing of
compatibility. Sometimes.
You know, actually, it's funny you say that. And I say this as a man. Men are typically visual.
yes.
In terms of image, is just probably how we're built, whereby we're more captivated visually. You see someone wear something, it's like wow, that kind of thing. And I think it's probably similar for women, depending on the kind of woman. And so I always say this: the reason why love is not a standalone complex, something that you choose to do every day, is I've said this many times. When I met, if you see our picture when she got married, she was like, what, size 6 or what?
Yeah, but come here.
Hold on.
10.
I loved her
That's 10.
as she was. Absolutely. When she became pregnant, I got more infatuated with her. How she looks now, I still love her how she looks. And the thing is that the reason why, if I just say okay, love it just stands there and it's fixed to a time, it makes no sense. Yeah. My love grows, how she grows.
So love moves with time.
With her, and she has it moves. And love, I don't want to, 1 Corinthians 13, when you read it from verse 4, and it gives all this fantastic description of love, and say love never fails. But remember what it says, it does not envy. It's not jealous. Yeah. It follows truth, does not condone evil. All this kind of thing. It shows you the virtues of love. And it's not this thing that just stands there, that does nothing. It just exists in its own sphere.
In its own entity.
No,
I'm on my own.
Love works.
Love works.
It works. And we need to make it work as
Preach
well.
it, Pastor.
We need to make it work.
Yes.
And choose to love everything.
Love
so
works.
I want to say that.
Ooh. What about you?
And the thing is, because people always say love, I love him. But love is a doing word. It's an action word.
It is.
Pick it up.
So you have to be able to put in the work as
Into
well.
it.
So when love isn't all just words, the action has to kick in. The intentionality has to kick in. They're like, okay, he can't do this, I'm going to do this. He can't step in for this, I'm going to do this. He's tired today, I understand.
To pick it up. Wow.
You step in.
Wow.
So, but obviously,
it's not like, it's your role to wash the dishes. I'm not stepping in. I don't care.
No.
If you're tired, wake up tomorrow. Oh, good.
And the thing is, because obviously before you get married, there's only so much that you can do together as a couple. There's only so much you know each other. But so that time is surface love.
So that is deep.
Yeah, so when you do get married, you see deep. Because I remember before we got married, we said we wouldn't have any kids in the first year. Even though we've been together for 8 years before we got married, we're like, we're not going to have any kids. We need to know each other. And I thought I knew this man. The first time I was like, I didn't know this about you. I've known you for 8 years and you do this, you do that. Because living with him is a whole...
Living with him now is different.
It's a whole different...
This is not unique.
The love has to activate.
Yeah,
the active love.
The work part of
Yeah, so you get to know like the tolerance. So love is...
Not from me.
Whatever. So love is
I'm on your side.
Work. Thank you. Love is work.
You know, when you then said, about coming together, I remember, you said about, obviously, family also chipping in with marriage and all those things.
Yeah.
Your sisters were friends, so you kind of know each other. So what is the role of parents for intending couples? Because I can see that your families are kind of surrounded by this love.
Yes.
They know what, maybe, you tell me, if they understand their roles. Because I'm seeing a lot of families and they don't understand their roles in intending couples. And they think they should stay away. Or you see some, they get all too involved. And you wonder, who is getting married? Or if they stay too far, you say, you're just leaving these young people to finish themselves up. Why can't you guide them? So what are the roles, from your experience, what are the roles of parents in intending couples? Either traditionally or that, Christian, but I know you are foundation in godly values and Yoruba culture. What are the roles of our parents for intending couples?
Sorry, before you jump on that, I want to say one thing about love, just very quickly. And I love what you said about it. Obviously, an action was doing well, but there's something about knowledge as well. We say this about God, is that you don't always feel God's love, but you know He loves you.
Absolutely.
And I think that in relationships, you will not always feel the love, but there's so much power in knowing that someone loves you. Like obviously, you know that by their actions and things like that. And so when you don't get that romantic, that kind of butterfly in your stomach every day. Think about it. If you have butterfly in your stomach every day, you're gonna have tummy ache and you're gonna be like, literally. But when you don't feel it, it's always power in knowing. And the knowing comes from the historicity of your relationship, whereby you see it in action, and then you know, okay, even though I'm not feeling today, I know that my husband, my wife loves me, my fiancé loves me, and that's important, knowing as well. So don't feelings not everything.
Sorry, we come back to the last question. Have you ever got into a point, I don't know about you, that you're not worried about this person loving me anymore? You know, like
I always tell him, nobody wants to. I'm the only one. And you know the crazy thing.
Because I'm like, because when you see people 15 years anniversary, I'm like, it gets to a stage in your life. This question, do you still love me? Do you still, after 14 years? I'm just asking.
Honestly,
do you have
honestly, in my heart of heart, no.
You don't ask again, do you love me?
That time, that ship I said. Long time.
You moved on.
Long time.
What about you?
Sorry, before you answer, you know what I said about action? Even when I don't feel it, I see it, I know.
You know.
Because of, we may be arguing with each other or having beef, which she caused. But she's still taking care of me. She's still saying, I've made I've made the meal for you, I've done this for you. It's like, wow, okay. Yeah,
but
even though you
we are still I'm
gonna have to apologize anyway. So
oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Wow. It's really easy if we have that concept of we're putting the foundation right from the first.
Yeah.
Because it's like I can see the layers. It's like it's just compounding.
Yeah.
Because we know where we are going.
Yeah.
It's not about asking me or asking you, do I still love this guy?
Yeah.
We started as I'm hooked for life. So then what are the roles of our families, especially our parents, for intending couples that obviously you are 14 years, that are about to join this boss of yours?
I always say, if you want to know the true colors of your family, get married.
Get married.
The drama, everybody will show their true colors, the drama, the dramatics, I don't like this, I don't like that. Everyone wants to, and it's just crazy how much a wedding tests this.
Ooh, yeah, I know that one day.
It's
a lot to the surface.
Crazy. Just that one day, the dramatics, the stress, the crying,
the whole scene.
The whole
scene 1, scene 2, scene 3.
It was a lot of scenes.
Wow.
But if you can pass that one day, you're good. But family plays a huge role.
Okay.
Parents, our parents were phenomenal when it came to our wedding. Absolutely phenomenal. They financially, spiritually, like they were both ministers and prayer and pastors. So spiritually, I remember, I think when we just started dating, kind of like but we didn't make it out at all. We're now dating, obviously in church. You date, it's just
quiet.
You are looking like, okay, is anyone looking? You hold your hands and
you give a bit of context.
Yeah.
So her parents are the senior pastors of our church.
Okay.
Yeah, and not just senior pastors, our mom founded the branch of our Foursquare in so she's like,
you must be brave as well.
I never think of it that way.
Yeah. And then my parents were not ordained ministers then.
Wow.
They became ordained ministers later on, obviously. So then they become.
Were they not?
Not
Oh,
the beginning.
okay.
Not the beginning.
All right.
Become ordained ministers. So that context of obviously dating the senior pastor's daughter.
Oh, you must be brave.
Yeah.
Did you feel that?
Yeah, I did.
Really?
Of course, it's there. That's real.
Especially, I told her I had a dream that her dad put me on the tip and gave me some lashes.
If you mess up with my daughter, if you try it, right?
I was always afraid of her. And I'm afraid that she not did. But yeah.
But then, sorry to cut you, Pastor Kenneth. Does that gives you a sort of shape and guide that, you know what, I know the family I'm dealing with, they don't mess up with what they call their own. Did that give you sort of, checkmate?
No, I
the
think,
parents.
Yeah, no, I think where that came out from more actually was from my mom.
Yeah.
So my mom, her background obviously, I told you about. So I don't think I mentioned this yet. So my dad came from a big family. Yeah, a polygamous family where they were just moving mad at times, and so there's a period in my mom and dad's marriage where she went through hell. Went through hell from in-laws, and it was so bad. It got a bit violent, not from my dad, thankfully, but from in-laws. Yeah, and they got so mouthy and involved. Things changed. My dad used to be very influential, had money back then in Nigeria, and all this. So that disappeared, and obviously people disappeared, as you would expect. And then it was just my mom always trying to pick up the pieces and those kind of things. So my mom always had this mantra that none of her children, in-laws would ever go through what she went through. And so she always treated every in-law as her own daughter. And at times she would even elevate them, and then she would also elevate them higher than us. And so that value came into us. And so my mom's role and my dad's role, and I want to say this, parents are not there, most parents are not there to ruin our lives.
Yes.
They are there as guidance, not interferers.
Yes.
And I think the role of parents in intending couples is to guide them, not to interfere.
Yeah.
Guide them, trust them when you don't interfere. I would not encourage this, but one of our friends had a wedding in Northern Ireland that we're not married then, so we're going to travel together and stay in the same hotel. There was furore, like, well, you're going to stay in the same hotel, you're not married. Yes, I understand that, and I actually will be of the same mind as well. But my mom said, we trust you. That statement meant so much. That even when we're together, it was ringing in my head that I will not betray the trust that they've placed in us. So families have a role to play, to lead us, to guide us, not to interfere.
Absolutely. I mean, Mrs. She said a bit, family has a very important role, not just on the wedding day alone, even before the wedding, and also after, which we will talk more later in the next episode. But then, intending couples, singles, your family, don't do things, because I'm seeing a lot of generation, do things and go haywire on their own. We have godly values, and we have a family value to protect. Like my husband, we call it legacy to protect. So please protect your family legacy and know who you are as you go into that union together. This is a very interesting podcast episode, Our Marriage by my lovely couples, and you will be seeing more of them. So please don't just wait. And the next podcast will be coming shortly to your view. Thank you so much, Pastor Kenneth and Pastor Grace, for coming in. Final word to your audience today.
Work for love.
Work for love. Yes.
Final one for me. We may develop this later on, but if you're in a relationship and you want to have a healthy relationship, I talked about this earlier on. That by God's grace, we got married as virgins. Again, I say this not to condemn anyone. However, it was not easy, but danced close to the fire many times. God brought us back, and the reason why I believe in my heart of hearts, apart from the trust that our parents had for us, is we feared God. And I'm going to leave it there. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, and there's so much truth to that.
Work for love and have the fear of God in your relationship. I see you again next time. This is Flourishing Minds and Families. Goodbye, and see you next week. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.